Start each day with God and let Him prepare your day. Good day, I am Cherilyn Bigandilan, and before we proceed to the next topic, I want you to answer this question. And the question is, what is your philosophy in life? I believe that each of us has a philosophy in life. And for me, my philosophy in life is that to put God first in everything you do. Because apart from God, we can't do nothing and we are nothing. So that is my philosophy in life. So the question is, what is your philosophy in life? What's yours? Okay, you might be wondering why I asked you a question. It is because it is part of our topic today. And our topic for today is about the performance test, oral questioning, observation, and self-report. What is performance test? Checklist is one of the frequently used measurement instrument. That is, a performance checklist consists of a list of behaviors that make up a certain type of performance. It is used to determine whether or not the individual behaves in a certain way when asked to complete a particular task. If a particular behavior is present when an individual is observed, the teacher places a check opposite it on the list. So always remember that performance test is a checklist that consists of a list of behaviors. Example of this is that a performance checklist in solving a mathematics problem. So the behaviors is that if the student identifies the given information, identify what is being asked, uses variables to replace a known, formulates the question, perform algebraic operations, obtains an answer, and check if the answer makes a sense. So, this is an example of a performance test. Here is the given example. So, this is one of the example of a performance test. A performance test example could involve assessing how well students can apply their knowledge and skills in real-world scenarios. For instance, students might be asked to complete a science experiment, deliver a presentation, or participate in a debate as part of their assessment. This task measures not only their understanding of the subject matter, but also their ability to apply it effectively. And the next is the oral questioning. So what is oral questioning? Oral questioning is an appropriate assessment method when the objectives are to assess students' stock knowledge and to determine the student's ability to communicate ideas in coherent verbal sentences. While oral questioning is indeed an option for assessment, several factors need to be considered when using this option. Of particular significance are the student's state of mind and feelings, anxiety, and nervousness in making oral presentation, which could mask the student's ability. Earlier, I asked you a question about what is your philosophy in life. So, that question is an example of oral questioning assessment in a form of evaluation. where an individual are asked a question verbally to assess their understanding, knowledge, or skills on a specific topic or subject matter. The individual responses given by the individual are evaluated based on the accuracy, depth, and coherence of their answers. And the next one is the observation and self-report. Observation and self-report assessment are two different methods used to gather information about individuals in education: the observation and the self-report assessment. The first one is a tally sheet. That is a device often used by the teacher to record the frequency of student behaviors, activities, or remarks. Observational tally sheets are more useful in answering this kind of question. For example, how many high school students follows instruction during a fire drill? How many instances of regression or helpfulness are observed when elementary students are observed in the playground? And in the class of Mr. Swall in elementary statistics, how often did you ask questions about inference? Observation involves directly watching and recording behaviors, actions, or interaction of individuals in a natural or controlled setting. Observation can be structured or unstructured depending on the specific research or assessment goals. It is a data provide insight into actual behaviors and can be particularly useful for understanding social interaction, especially for the classroom dynamics. Observation example is that when a teacher observes students during group work activities to assess their collaboration skills, communication abilities, and problem-solving strategies. The teacher might take notes on how will students listen to each other, contribute ideas, and resolve conflicts, providing valuable insight into their social and cognitive development. On the other hand, self-checklist. Self-checklist is a list of several characteristics or activities presented to the subject of study. The individual are asked to study the list and then to place a mark opposite the characteristic which they possess or activities which they have engaged in a particular length of time. A self-checklist are often employed by teachers when they want to diagnose or to appraise the performance of the students from the point of view of the student themselves. So, this is an example of a self-checklist or self-report assessment that involves gathering information directly from individuals about their thoughts, feelings, behaviors, or attitudes through questionnaires, survey, or interviews. Participants are asked to provide subjective information about themselves based on their own perception and experiences. Self-report measures are commonly used to assess personality traits, attitudes, emotional states, and various psychological constructs. Self-report assessment is that when the students could be asked to complete a survey or questionnaire about their studies habit and academic motivation. Question might inquire about their preferred study environment, time management strategies, perceived strengths and weaknesses, and level of engagement in learning activities. This self-report assessment can help identify areas where students may need additional support or intervention, and it can inform instructional strategies tailored to individual student needs. Observation and self-report are useful supplementary assessment methods when used in conjunction with oral questioning and performance tests. Such methods can offset the negative impact on the students' growth about their fears and anxieties during oral questioning or when performing actual tests under observation. However, since there is tendency to overestimate one's capability, it may be useful to consider weighing self-assessment and observational report against the result of oral questioning and performance test. On the other hand, both observation and self-report assessment have their strengths and limitations, and researchers often use a combination of these methods to obtain a more comprehensive understanding of individuals or phenomena. And that will be all. Thank you for listening.